So what is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's is a progressive neurodegenerative disease which is caused by neurons or brain cells dying due to disruptive communication. The environment and your lifestyle play a critical part in the development of Alzheimer's disease. While early onset Alzheimer's is predominantly affected by dysfunctional aspects of one's DNA, factors such as exposure to environmental toxins, consumption of an unhealthy diet, and neglect of one's physical health collectively form a complex relationship with this disease. With all of this put into consideration, it is difficult to categorize Alzheimer's, as it encompasses several elements. In early onset Alzheimer's, genes also play a critical role in the development and progression. While determinate genes inevitably lead to this disease, the probability of having these particular alleles is unlikely. The APOE E4 allele is one of the many alleles that create a higher risk for a person to develop early onset Alzheimer's.
A risk gene is very different than a determinate gene because it does not guarantee that a person will develop Alzheimer's. A person who has no risk alleles has a very low chance of getting early onset Alzheimer's compared to people who have one or more copies of the risk alleles. Thus, people who have 2 copies of the allele are more likely to get the disease. However, someone with 1 or 2 risk alleles may never develop early onset Alzheimer's, while someone that does not have any risk alleles may arise with the disease. While someone can develop Alzheimer's as a result of risk or determinate genes, an individual may also develop a mutation sometime throughout their life that would cause a specific gene to become dysfunctional. All of these genes, whether they are inherited or manipulated, affect the production of a beta-amyloid protein that is the main cause of plaque buildup in the brain. When this protein is divided abnormally, it becomes insoluble and therefore causes multiple of these abnormal protein fragments to stick together and form clumps, called plaques, that disrupt neural communication. For example, the PSEN1 is a gene that is mutated in an Alzheimer's patient that causes a series of abnormalities which eventually lead up to this dysfunctional protein.
We need to look at the effects of the different genes and mutations on a cellular level in order to understand the large-scale issues such as plaque buildup. There's a protein in the cellular membrane called amyloid precursor protein. 2 enzymes, beta and gamma, whose names are shortened for simplicity, cut the protein at specific places. When PSEN1 allele is mutated, the gamma enzyme is coded to inaccurately cut the protein at the wrong spot, making beta amyloid protein a wrong size. These new fragments are insoluble and form clumps called plaques, which disrupt neuronal communication. Although early onset Alzheimer's disease is not completely understood and many factors contribute to this disorder, it is a perfect example of the complexity of genetic diseases. In this situation, genes may not solely be responsible for diseases. Other factors, like the environment, can play a role. Also, mutations and risk genes can make diseases more intricate than just a single autosomal dominant or recessive gene. However, by understanding the basis of genetics, we are able to expand upon more complex ideas that can contribute to modern-day treatments and cures for disorders and diseases like Alzheimer's.